Hello, everybody. The reason why I entitled this, Are You Gonna Go My Way, is because the topic that we're covering is how to get the client on your side. First of all, I wanted to thank Royal Neighbors. I was supposed to go to the convention. I wasn't able to make it. And it's always a great convention, so I know the guys had a great time. I really missed out on talking to a lot of great producers, so I was very sad to miss it, but fortunately family calls, so that's why I had to miss it. But in any case, the first thing I wanted to talk about is, how do you get them on your side? Are you going to go my way? Well, if anybody knows, that's the title of an old Lenny Kravitz album, but so that's sort of why I like using that title. But let's start from the very beginning. And I like meat and potato stuff, so I like to go into the house with you, and I like to tell you what I do in the house to get them enthusiastic about what we have to offer, because, I don't care how your day's going. If you're not enthusiastic and passionate about what you have to do for these folks when you get in the house, you're not going to be successful. The first tip I'm going to give you that you really need to take into account is try not to talk about insurance for the first 3 to 5 minutes that you're in the house. Try to talk to them. Try to show genuine interest in their lives. I've said this many times. Just show genuine interest in these folks' lives by asking them genuine questions. And you will have to sometimes explain the card if you have people that are antsy. Hey, what's this all about? Blah, 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 blah. You might have to explain the card, but just remember, whoever is asking questions is in control. So as long as you're asking questions, you can direct the conversation. So when they ask you, what's this all about, you're going to do the brief explanation of the card, and you basically say, hey, I'm here about this card you mailed in because Social Security only pays that $255 in benefits. This notice was mailed out to you letting you know about a state-regulated life insurance program to help with final expenses. What that means by state-regulated is that this has been discounted for fixed income seniors. So I'm licensed here with a bunch of different companies that the insurance commissioner has approved to help seniors. And so I'm going to ask you a few health questions to sort of narrow it down to the best company and best information for your situation so I can let you know what's available to you. And then I'll ask either if I want to redirect it back to asking them about their lives, I'll do that, or I'll redirect to, now that I've refreshed your memory on the card, what was the reason why you mailed off the card? And I'll get their answer on that, and then I'll still redirect it back to their lives, because it's so important to talk to them like you're having a conversation with them. Don't go right into this. Anybody that's ridden out with me knows I like to go right down to business, but I'm still going to be warming up with them and talking to them and getting to know them, because if you don't do that, you're not going to be able to get them to your side. But if you notice with the way that I explain the card, I've framed it so that when I come back later on, I can really show them how special of a program this is. If you don't believe in this and you don't understand how great of a thing we're doing for seniors, especially ones that qualify for day one coverage, then you're missing the boat, because all that they're getting in the mail from these whole life insurance companies is a whole bunch of guaranteed issue malarkey. And your job is to make sure that they avoid getting into those plans when they can qualify for something better. And I actually am telling them these things as I'm going throughout the presentation, especially when I get to the part where I'm talking about the difference between whole life and term life. I'm really hammering home that, hey, I'm here to help them. I'm here to make sure that they get something that's better than what's out there. And that's sometimes I call them, that's why this is, half the price of Colonial Penn, that general public program, because all they want to do is just lump all the healthy people in with the sick people, and that's how they make their money. At least we're taking the time to see what your situation is so we can tailor make a program to what your family's needs are. So make sure you're peppering that throughout your presentation of how you're there to help them, because if you do that, at the end, it doesn't come out to whether they want the insurance. They want the insurance. It's a matter of affordability. If you get them to your side, it's not a matter of I want to check on this company or I want to check on this or I want to check on that. They know that you're on their side, and they know that you're pointing them in the right direction. Sometimes when you have people sitting there you have to just come right out and tell them. And this is the way I've done my business so many years, and it's always worked. And I've always done this. I've turned away business because of this. And it's very simple. I tell them I do everything by the golden rule. Whatever program I recommend to you is the same program I'd recommend to my mom and dad. And if you're not saying things like that to help build trust in the house, then you're not going to make as many sales as you need to make. And I say everything that I say because it's the truth. When I say it's a discounted program, it really is. If they qualify, it is a discounted program compared to the whole life programs that they get through the mail. And I'm going to make it special because that's the way it needs to be. I'm only going to participate in something that's going to help people and also make money at the same time. If your first goal isn't to help the person first, the money's going to come. Help them first, and then if you help enough people get what they want, you're going to get what you want. And that's the most important thing when considering going into every single house. Treat them as the way you want your mom and dad to be treated, if you want your brother and sister to be treated. And I promise you, it'll come back to you, and the money will come back to you tenfold and 20-fold. So go out there and think about that when you enter each house, when you cross each threshold, and you're going to be more successful this week. Think about that as you go into each house this week, and you're going to be more successful. Thanks, Chase. Everybody have a great week out there.